Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Steeler Nation, it's good to be back with you again. Not so good news this week to kick off a new week here. Anyhow, guys, welcome to Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, JT, and I've got a great panel coming back again from Thursday night, joining us from just down the street. My man, CJ, what's up, my brother?
Not much. Usually when baseball season rolls around, you expect disappointment. And then when football season comes around, you expect greatness.
Yes.
Yeah. We ain't getting that. So
we ain't getting none of it. But hey, over on the other side of the border, we're getting a little some of it over there. And to round out our panel tonight, it is the one and only Freight Train. What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, fellas. Man, it's times like these you learn to live again. We've been so gracious and having a great football team for like the past 20 years. I'm not used to this, and I do not want to get used to it.
Neither do I. Papa Son made it over again for the game this week, and gosh, we got to get him back on here again. It's been so long since he's been on with us. I just love his comments. But it's one point we just looked at us, dude, and you probably know the point where everybody else just kind of went. We looked at each other and went, nah, not today. It is not happening today. So that's my quick instant reaction over on the game. I mean, we're going to jump into some stuff, but CJ, what was your instant reaction when all the dust settled, if that's what you want to call it?
Dust. Dust. The Bills knocked the dust off that one. But no, you look back at the game and, they opening kick. The Bills fumble, pin them deep, 2-yard line, 3rd and 10, 98 yards.
And we're out of there, right? 3rd and 10, we get good field position to start our first drive, right?
And
right?
I'm thinking,
defense gets off the field.
This is perfect for Kenny. The wind's blowing, should have the ball around the 45-yard line. Oh, no. Nope.
Wait. Who was that supposed to cover that guy? Oh, man. Yeah, with you there. Freight Train, what was your instant reaction? God, we've had 26 hours to stew on it or so.
Yeah.
Still does not taste very good.
My instant reaction is this team needs an attitude adjustment majorly with the players, with the coaching staff. I mean, I look back and when Kenny got lit up on that slide, they show Tomlin, he has no expression on his face, no emotion on his face. Your team is playing lackadaisical. Set the tone. Be pissed off. If that was Bill Cowher on the sideline, there'd be spit flying like a llama mouth.
That chin be dragging on the ground.
Yes, he needs to set the tone here. Get pissed off. Change it.
Shout out to James Daniels, for coming in. I know that was the only time he put a Bills defender on his backside because he certainly didn't do it to their D linemen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know about how about Kenny? The other one showing a fight there too in the fourth.
There's no life in this team. There's zero life.
You know what? Let's get into that, Freight Train. Before we do that, though, CJ, why don't you plug our listeners what's going on out at the website and stuff, man? Give us an update.
We're going to have a new look website here coming probably about this time next week. Little redesign, some new stuff. We're going to have some new blog ideas to get out there, and we want to hear your feedback. So around the 17th of October here, we're going to have a new look.
Nice.
and we want to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, excited to crank it up a little bit too. It was that time of the year, time to renew stuff, and we just thought it was a good time for a little.
We
Little
wanted to make a
makeover.
change. We didn't want to get stagnant. We didn't want any retreads.
Just
You
want
know,
enhancement, right? Freight train
yeah.
That's right. There's
enhance.
nothing wrong with a little bit of enhancement.
That's it, man. Draw some attention to it. So, yeah, man. Despite we still got lots to talk about, despite the outcome of that game, and thought we'd do something a little bit different tonight, since we all know what the outcome was, and we all have this bitter pill that we had to swallow. So we're just going to kind of bounce some things off, some thoughts, our thoughts anyhow. Hopefully it's entertaining for you guys to hang around, and hopefully we might share some of the same thoughts about this team at this stage that you do too.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah, and you know what? I wanted to check, and maybe we can bring that up before we get to it. But at the end of the show, maybe just kind of take a peek at what our thoughts were as far as projection numbers and how we ended up too. I know we usually do that when we do our projections for the next game, but I'm just curious if you guys have that handy. I'd love to kind of take a peek at that again, because I did not write them down on my end. I'm sorry for that. But anyhow, well, let's jump into thoughts on the game, man. So, all right. So you touched on him already. Kenny Pickett. How did he perform? CJ, I'll start with you.
Honestly, rookie against that defense, I thought early on he gave him a chance, right? Drove him down the field, got three points. Overall, with what the game being quickly one-sided, he took what the Bills defense gave him, checked the ball down, a lot of quick intermediate stuff. I thought he made good reads. I thought he made good decisions. Obviously, he threw an interception there at the end of the half, and we were all on the same page after the Bills scored again. Just take a knee. Let's get to half. There's nothing good that can come.
Right. 2 plays. Yeah, so that went 12 plays, 50 yards. Ended up with a field goal. Ended up being the only points of the entire game. Not that we didn't try a couple other times, but yeah, man, I thought he showed life and spunk. And, I think the passes that he completed, he looked pretty sharp at times. And then the only other side of that is that, yeah, we played good between the 20s in that drive, so to speak. But yet, ended up with a field goal. Kind of reminds me of another quarterback we had kind of filling in from time to time. Could move the ball between the 20s, but couldn't score. So, despite that, let me finish up and then I'll let you roll with that. Despite that, I think the farthest we got was maybe down to the 11-yard line. But got to get over that hump and get us pushed in. I thought the routes in his throws were on the safe side. Some of them anyhow, but overall pleased. And you see the arrows pointing up, guys. I guess that's all we can expect, really, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just kind of looking through the drive chart here. And I thought he played well, but I thought the other guys around him, there were some crucial mistakes. Second drive, he finds Freiermuth over the middle for, I think, a 15-yard gain.
Right.
He gets called back by Gentry on the hold.
Yep.
Then they're driving, late on that slide where he takes that late hit, and
Right.
Daniels comes in. They're at the 10, 11-yard line. They're looking at a 3rd and a half yard, 3rd and inches, right? There's just so many bad things, from drops to penalties to stupidity and mental errors. What do you think, Freight?
My overall assessment of Kenny was very good. I mean, I thought he showed very good composure within the pocket as a rookie quarterback. I mean, there was times he stayed in the pocket, had a guy in his face, and delivered the ball. He isn't just taking the ball and running right or left with it. He's staying in the pocket to try to deliver it to make a play downfield. I like his willingness to. He looks like a great leader out there. He's trying to get these guys going. It's like you said. I mean, they could drive the ball down the field. They just couldn't finish. I mean, there was plays where Deontay can't put his feet in the right place anymore. Apparently,
Yep.
There's a touchdown there. There's plays on the sidelines that he put the ball where it needed to be, and they just didn't. They didn't secure it. So I give Kenny probably a B+.
Yeah, Zach, these next 3 weeks are going to be very tough.
No,
Especially with Tampa Tom coming in, another good defense that Kenny's going to have to face. And, I think this is a huge learning experience for him. And what better way to do it?
Well, yeah. Hey, right into the fire, baby. Right into the fire. So, hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it, man. Keep them coming. Sure is going to be a tough stretch, but hey, speaking of, what's going on with the wide receivers? I mean, see one guy out there working his ass off, and the two other guys we touched on a little bit. I think Freight Train you did. What is going on? What's up with Claypool?
I think with Deontay, and I hope I'm wrong. To me, I get the feeling that he got paid, and football is secondary to him right now. He got paid. He's not doing the things that he was doing before he got paid. We've seen him make those toe tap catches. We've seen him do it. And now all of a sudden he can't place his feet anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You want to be a number one wide receiver? That's what a number one wide receiver does. He makes the tough catches, gets his quarterbacks back on those things. No, he's just out there running around. And Chase, I mean, body up. You're the biggest receiver out there, man. You're borderline like a tight end out there.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly on him. Why aren't we running him across the middle, and why isn't he dragging people with him for the first down? Why isn't he going through there making those contested catches? Why isn't he going up and bringing the ball down? Instead, he's deflecting it for an interception. What is going on with the dude, man?
Yeah.
Well, I think Romo touched on it perfectly. There was a play where in the second half where he had the middle wide open. He was in the slot. There was no one in the middle. And Romo's like, all he has to do is cut off that route, go inside, break inside a little earlier, and Kenny's going to find him, and you have a nice, easy 12, 15-yard gain. Instead, he continues down the field. He doesn't flatten out his route, and he just turns around.
Isn't that what these guys are taught to do, especially in a zone coverage? Find the soft spot and just turn around.
Oh,
find the soft spot.
Catch the ball. Don't deflect it away.
Yeah.
And
then
as he said today, when you know the game like I do, you can come down here and do it yourself. Do you guys catch that at all?
I did not, but if you said who said that,
Mm-hmm.
And then DJ, last week against the Jets in the first half, right? Mitch hits him in the end zone, and he didn't get his foot in.
Right, yeah.
And that kind of sealed Mitch's fate right there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys aren't playing up to par. This is not what we expected. Claypool's been an enigma. He's a freak. And there's a reason why freaks like him last to the second round. A lot of people saw what we're seeing now. That,
is that attitude thing?
I don't think he has the football IQ. I think throughout he came from Canada, right? He didn't play a lot of football. So that development's not there yet. So we'll see. I still have hopes for him, but as of right now, yeah, it's exactly that.
The potential and the ability is there. He's just got to let it shine.
He called himself Mapletron.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, that didn't really stick here in Pittsburgh yet. Yeah. Shane was throwing something out here, not to change tracks too quickly here, Freight Train, but Tomlin says we don't live in our fears. One more time. Shane's gonna have a shit fit. Yeah, right. I think that ship has sailed as far as Tomlin goes. Yeah. Have to agree with you there, Shane. That the times we're down 21 points, we're down 3 touchdowns, and we're kicking a field goal.
Hey, there's nothing better than turning a 3-possession game into a
three
3-possession game.
Yeah.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
Man,
Apparently, he needed the mystical bowl for that.
I guess
I
that's
mean-
not living in your fears, though.
Well, no.
So
I just-
living in your fears would be not kicking it again, and going for it instead because you're afraid that Boz will miss it again.
You want
So
to
is it like
lose
living in his
38?
anti-fears now? Or what?
Mhm.
You want to lose 38-9? Like,
Oh, that sounds so much better.
Yeah.
hey, Mike, Coach T, that's still 4 possessions.
Yeah,
Right.
we scored 9 points though.
Oh,
Amen, CJ. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
want to hop
Now,
into
hey,
Najee?
positive. Change brings up a positive too. The dude, this is going to be Pickens. He's going to be something special, man. I think everybody in the broadcast booth last night recognized that too. It's like everything that the guy does. He's
He's the only one with attitude out there.
yeah, him and Pickett.
That's it.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you we really shouldn't put Freiermuth in the conversation with Deontay and Claypool. Dude just got his head taken off with. There's another penalty flag that wasn't thrown. Blatant helmet to helmet's not called. He makes tough catches. He runs for extra yards. I mean, why is it the young guys trying to lead by example and not the veterans on the team?
Because they have something to prove still, right? As you said, DJ got paid.
Mhm.
I don't understand Claypool other than I just believe he hasn't played enough football. Coming from Canada, 3 years at Notre Dame. It is what it is at this point. It's sad.
Or
It is very
like,
sad.
yeah, it's as Shane reminded us, to quote Tomlin, we are what we knew we are. And really, that's a pretty good summation of this team. They are not what they think they are, apparently. But anyhow, let's turn the tides a little bit. Let's talk about defense. For that, hey, want to give a shout out to one of our buddies, and hope you're doing well out there. But our friend, give a shout out to Willie Hobbs, Pittsburgh sports artist. Check out his work at mytimeyourtime.com. We'll put a link in the bottom of the podcast as always, and check out his stuff. I had a couple prints right here too. I was going to show you, but we'll be sure to share that on the new website. We'll have some of his stuff out there as well too. So big shout out, Willie. He's also, guys, I don't know if you know this or not, he's a recording artist.
No way.
Yes,
I did not know that.
a little bluesy, funky tune. I'll share it with you guys. Maybe we'll throw some on the podcast for our listeners here. I'll cue it up for next time. How's that sound?
Cool.
Yeah. So defense, no pass rush, and then when we did manage to bring some extra help, what's he do?
Just throws it right over the top.
Yeah, it just picks us apart.
Let's
So I don't know, guys.
How about Devin Bush on that? Let's talk about that Devin Bush play.
Okay.
Devin Bush, free run at the quarterback.
Just
Free run.
stops.
He missed him by
missed
5
him.
yards.
It's
He's
like
got
he
the
wanted to come in and see what was up and say, "Hey, go ahead."
He's
after you.
got the lateral quickness of a crab out there. I have never seen anyone miss that bad. It's
No.
in
We don't want to cut too hard and mess up that knee again, dude.
big payday coming for him, right, guys?
Not
Big
from us.
payday.
Not
Yeah.
payday.
AKA the league minimum.
Yeah, he
It
better
may be.
brush up on his insurance terminology. Hey, buddy, by the way, Devin, we got a spot for you here at Good and Associates Insurance Agency here. So Whenever the season's over, give me a call, buddy.
And then I thought Miles Jack, they put a lot on Miles' plate, right? He's pretty much got to do it all out there. I thought he played adequate, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I thought Cam, for the most part, did what he can do. He's getting up there in age, right? And we're starting to see the effects of that.
Yeah.
I think it was Freight
Starting
you
to
said
get
in the
winded.
group message that, it seems every 3 plays he's winded.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over on the sideline sucking air.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And you know who I thought played very well again? The 3rd round pick out of Texas A&M, Liao.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
He's
As a
been
matter of fact,
he's
he even
been
got some recognition on the broadcasters. He even gave him a little bit of love too.
mhm.
he
Yeah.
batted down another pass on that quick screen. Like I said, for a guy that's played on the inside in college and then moving him around, very happy with what he's shown. But
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to touch on one play, the 98-yard touchdown pass in the first. In Freight Train, you said it best. Where is Minka right there? Now, in your guys' mind, would you rather have a backup safety playing center field in that situation, or would you rather have Minka back in coverage and send the backup safety?
No, I 100% would rather
What are
have
we
Minka back
doing?
there. That's what I mean. I don't know where these game plans are coming from, but they're coming straight out of left field.
Yes.
I mean, these are 2 guys that should know what they're doing that have no freaking clue about what the hell is going on.
Totally
I mean,
blown assignments there. Totally
yeah,
blown assignments.
you're talking about a guy that plays center field better than anybody and can turn the ball over. He almost had one the second time if he would have just muscled up and ripped it back out of the guy's arms instead of letting him have it,
Yeah,
apparently.
That was such a weird play.
really.
Yeah.
Really was.
And even if he does rip it out, by the time that they were jostling for the ball, they're going to call dual possession. They're going to call a touchdown anyway. Just, man.
They're just not putting guys in positions to succeed right now.
I mean, who
lies
knew
at.
Terrell Edmonds was maybe the straw that maybe holds
Broke
everything
the
together?
defense's back.
Yeah.
I mean, for Josh Jackson.
The missing link. No, please don't
Does
go
it-
there.
Josh Jackson. Do you guys know who he is?
You know what? I was going to ask about. I know he's number 16.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
was
learned
second
that
round-
yesterday.
Yeah.
He was 2nd round pick for Green Bay 2018. Green Bay cut him. He goes to the Chiefs last year. He plays in 2 games. He gets cut. He's on their practice squad. He's on our practice squad. And he's playing meaningful snaps. So, I mean, injuries are starting to take a toll on that secondary.
Oh, it's turned into I was super confident and thought that was the best unit on our team to arguably probably the youngest with these injuries, and guys are just playing way out of position.
I don't know. I mean, Levi Wallace, yeah, he had that interception, but he got beat deep.
Yeah.
Trey Norwood, eh. You know who I want to.
Like,
You know
if you're a
who?
Penguins fan, he's like Malkin, Evgeny Malkin. For every one fantastic play he has like 3 boneheaded plays.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of them.
And let's jump into this Malik Reed situation. This trade that we've made with the Broncos. He's been invisible.
Yeah.
I don't even know what number he wears. Has he made one play?
No.
One tackle?
Oh no.
I mean,
recall his name being mentioned.
He had one tackle, right?
yay.
What are we doing, man?
Guys,
What are we doing?
With
And
where
the-
we're at, you can't be giving up draft picks for guys that
don't make a difference whatsoever. Yeah. Well, and then Highsmith again disappeared, lost in the shuffle.
Highsmith, he got doubled. I kind of watched him a lot. He got doubled hard, and he still got some pressure. The problem was him coming on the outside. the middle and the right side was just getting blown up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So all if you watch, all Allen had to do was roll to his right. He could step up into the pocket easily. It's really, I thought again Highsmith played well, honestly.
Well, but they didn't move him around again like they did the previous game.
I
Well,
don't
I
think
mean-
it would have mattered.
Well,
I mean,
You know
I'd have
what?
tried anything. I mean, at this point, something's got to give.
well, you bring up a good point. So hold that thought for a second, and then we're going to get into and Zach brings up an interesting point that I heard other people talking about your post earlier too, Zach. So hang with us, man. I got that topic starred, so we're going to get into it. Before we do that, though, Freight Train, why don't you give us a little plug about what's going on the social media side of things?
Well, guys, if you aren't a part of the Steelers Nation Local 724, then you're extremely missing out because it's where all the Steelers fans are now. You are cool if you're in the club, so get in the club.
Yeah, man, stop by and join up and get updates. Good conversation in there, including some good posts from these guys that are hanging out with us tonight too. We appreciate you listening in, Shane, Zach, Larry, you guys. So yeah, Steelers Nation local number 724. Don't forget that hashtag on the 724 there. And we got a new picture up on. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. New picture up there too, in the background. But let's get into special teams. And then I want to touch on a subject that Zach brought up here too, about the coaching. So we would be remiss if we we didn't wrap up spending a little bit of time about the coaching on that.
Oh, that's going to be the meat and potatoes of the show.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna blend these two together. Let's talk about this Steven Sims eye
good.
injury pregame.
Okay, good point. Good
so
point.
you have a guy that you just elevated from the practice squad, who we saw flashes in the preseason. He's done it before. He knows what he can do, right? So he's got this eye injury. We hear all about all this talent that's on the outside, these wide receivers. You think you would put someone back there who can at least who handles the ball, right? Whether it's Warren, whether it's DJ, anyone. We go to James Pierre. James Pierre. I'm going to say this again. James Pierre. What's he do? He fumbles it, kicks it
Oh, yeah.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, was Gunner inactive?
yes.
So you can't go back on that one.
Nope.
So
No, I told you so there.
So this obviously is directly at Danny Smith and Tomlin. Why put a guy back there who never handles the football?
We're trying to find lightning in a bottle, CJ.
I just want some.
I mean,
Let's,
that's what it
Hey,
boiled
I
down
know
to.
a guy who's available. Let's get AB back out there, man. He used to return kickoffs and punts.
He's
least
too
fun.
busy having pool parties.
I guess.
and then
He'll be in the news forever, man.
and then Sims magically reappears. Just eye injuries. His eye injury's fine.
I guess
He's got two of them.
James Pierre didn't cut it. Yeah, he's got two. That's right. Just hey, coach, just cover that other one up. It'll be all right.
And then who was it? Maybe you can highlight this.
I'll still flank you with
JT.
one hand.
Highlight the comment about the field goals. I think it was Shane. Yeah, Shane. Shane's field goals. There's 25, 30 mile an hour winds gusting in Bill's Stadium. You're down a bunch of points.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose? You already lost the game, essentially. Well, I mean, what more could go wrong that hadn't already?
Like,
Just
what are we doing?
use it as a learning tool. You think this game's the only time you're going to have to worry about going on fourth down? No. Run some fourth down plays. I mean, you got to, at times like this, you got to get creative and, make lemonade with the rotten lemons that you have. I mean,
Now, I kind of understood the first one, right? Boz misses. The next one, we've already seen that Boz missed a chip shot, one that he's always made in his career. Why are we going back out there and trying it again? And he misses again. It's just inexcusable to put Boz in that situation. I mean, Tyler Bass is a very good kicker too,
yeah, he's missing them.
and he had to drive. He tried to drive the ball right through that wind. He keeps it low. It gets blocked.
Too low.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it.
I wouldn't even call it blocked. It just he kicked it into some bunch of players and it got deflected. Is about all it was.
Hey, that I
But
told you guys that field goal defensive unit is the MVP of the team so far this year. They're the only unit that's won us a game.
And then I'm done with Mr. Harvin. Done with him.
Yeah.
I'm just
It was windy. Couldn't kick field goals, couldn't punt.
he can't even punt when it's
CJ, that leg strength though, to knife it through the wind to at least get 35 yards.
I
could have pulled some local high school kid that can go out there and do that garbage.
What's the alternative? They brought in what's his name, just in case, and then they were like, never mind.
Hell, at this point, you're already down freaking 28 points. The dude's built like the chest freezer I have out in my garage. Just do a fake.
Really?
Try something.
It's going to take him down.
Exactly.
I mean, he doesn't seem to be the most fleetest of foot athletic.
I don't see him getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, Jim, there's a guy. There's a guy who you should be recruiting to sell insurance. You should reach out right now because he's going to be needing to sling something around here real quick.
Percy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Shane brought up a point, and this is a good segue too. I want to get into the coaching thing here, but yeah, like Tony Romo said, hey, run your third down plays on first down, give your young quarterbacks a chance to get into some kind of rhythm. I mean, he would know. He's been through it all.
Yeah,
that he has.
No, far too often.
And I think, you know what? We saw success when we came out, play action and first down, play action, drop back. We saw success doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But this 3 plays, 4 yards, 3 plays, 8 yards, 3 plays, 2 yards. I'm getting the silver streak out, Freight Train. 8 plays. Here, it was 3 plays, no yards. The second to last possession. We had 11 possessions. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those were 3 and outs. For a total of 12, 14 yards. Guys.
You ready for this? I'm looking at it right now. Almost all those started with a run.
They're predictable.
That's what they were. Run on first, run on second, pass on third, incomplete, punt. That's kind of when Tony Romo brought that up. He's like, what are you doing here? You're killing your guy. He's got nothing. You got him passing on obviously third and long downs. Give the guy a break. And when they did that, I think you're right, Sia. I think just about every one of those 3 and outs started off with 2 running plays for nothing, which brings up another topic we didn't really talk about. And I don't know if we're going to have time, maybe if we can, before we get into coaching. Let's save that. But what was our total rushing yardage?
I'm pulling it up right now. We ran for 54 yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenny,
both combined.
Kenny had 10 of them.
And Jalen Warren had more than Najee did.
Yeah.
So wouldn't Najee end up like 22 yards or something like that?
On like 10 or 11 carries.
So Najee ended up with 20 on 11. Warren 24 on 5. Listen, I don't know if Najee's hurt. I know we know he missed a bunch of time during camp, but we saw what he was capable of last year,
Yeah, right.
Right.
Where is that dude?
And one thing that's very interesting too is we're not seeing him utilized out of the backfield that we saw last year with Ben. I
You're
don't know
right.
if that's a philosophical change, but a lot of the damage he did was those just quick little routes to him,
Get him
right?
out in free space,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we're not seeing that at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, it boils down to coaching. They're not putting any of these guys in spots to utilize their talents. You know, Najee isn't even seeing the field right now.
No.
He's going into a group of guys instead of, hey, look at the outside. If I bounce it outside, I got at least 6 yards right there. We're not seeing him carry guys like he did last year. I mean, last year, the majority of his yardage came after first contact.
Stutter
Shane,
steps. Too many
Shane,
stutter steps.
Yep, Shane. The tunnel screen. I hate to tell you, that is not in Matt Canada's playbook. It is a run left dive. It is a 34 trap. No tunnel screens. None.
Very much in that playbook.
Tight end pot pass.
Yeah, there isn't. There isn't.
No, but it
Make
is
the ball run
frustrating that
hard. Hit
it
other
is
players before you get to line of scrimmage.
it is
Is that laptop that Matt Canada's looking up there? Is that actually an Etch-a-Sketch?
it might be.
Is he just playing with his Etch-a-Sketch? He's not actually
I don't know.
trying to design plays that work? Because that'd be more believable than calling him an offensive coordinator right now.
I would like to see. I don't think it's going to happen until the bye week. I think he'll be gone during the bye week.
I say do it now. Do it
Interesting.
now. Why
See, there-
wait? Why wait? What is going to change by waiting until the bye week?
Nothing, but
Not
I think
anything.
with
what-
what's
Make a statement. This is
I think-
not okay.
no,
This
I
is
agree.
not okay. This is not the standard.
If you can tell, we're getting a little passionate here.
I'm starting to
We all got
sweat.
something to
I'm getting
say.
irritated.
Canada.
There was
I-
no reason for him to stick around at this point. You just got your ass handed to you. There's no excuse for it.
Well,
Zero.
you think if
Heads
they were
should
going to
be
make a
rolling
move,
now.
if they were going to make
That's not a ridiculous thought. Somebody else got axed today, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
poor Matt Rule. He's getting paid $850,000 per month to
Oh.
disappear.
Holy shit.
Talk about tough life that man's got.
Yeah.
And
what
you
am
know
I gonna
what?
do?
Terrell Austin, I'm going to rip on you. We said it. I said it last week. This guy got fired. He was the first coordinator in NFL history to give up 3 straight 500-yard games. He got axed 6 months after accepting the job. I don't know why when you surround yourself, I don't know why Tomlin thinks. I said it in the group. You surround yourself with crap, you turn in the crap. He is effectively with Sullivan, with Canada, with Austin. What do you expect? Do you expect different results from these same people that haven't been able to be successful in every other place that they've been? Not one of them have.
No.
So
No.
you just you expect because you're Mike Tomlin, you're the head coach, you've been successful that you're going to turn them. You need help.
Yeah, there's no rah-rahing these guys up. It's not going to happen. They need to be gone. I would start with Matt before I start with Terrell Austin because at least Terrell has the excuse of, well, I lost my best player on my side of the ball. We've gotten riddled with injuries. Matt Canada hasn't had to go through that. He sabotaged the first quarterback's job, and now he's going to sabotage. He sabotaged him. Yes, he did. I will go to my grave honestly believing that. And now you're going to trust our first-round draft pick in the hands of him? Look what he's shown. Look what he's shown so far. Nothing. Cut your losses. Bye.
I would be
Try
interested
somebody else.
to be a fly on the wall at the Steelers front offices. I would love to hear what's getting kicked around behind the doors. Without
It shouldn't have even taken this long. It shouldn't have even taken this long.
No.
And I just don't see how you can just turn the other cheek when you just got shellacked 38-3. 38-3.
Well, what was Tomlin's comment? We're going to leave no stone unturned.
Yeah. He said he didn't take anything off the table when it came to benching guys and in regards to assistant coaches. I think this is their prove it week. Show me what you got. Because let's be honest, Brian Flores, he every stop in his life has been more successful than anything that Terrell Austin has done in his life.
Right. I can't see moving forward by not doing anything.
All right. So let's put a pretty little yellow ribbon on this. And bottom line it. I mean, obviously there's no easy fix here. But let's step back and take a minute. They're not as good as they think they are, right? We pretty much all agreed on that point. And they're as bad as their record shows, if not worse.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
I wouldn't say they're as bad as their record shows. They're a better team than what the record shows. It's just a matter of the coaches putting them in the right situations.
Well, better and talented are two different topics here. They're certainly a talented team. They're not playing like a better team.
So I'm going to rouse some stuff off. I think they are as bad as they've shown. Baltimore, 138 points scored. Cleveland, 133 points scored. Cincinnati, 108 points scored. Pittsburgh, 77.
Wow.
77. And I won't even touch on the defensive numbers because I'll just cut straight to the chase. They have a 51 point differential. That is the worst. That is the worst.
Yep.
Can't read everything with numbers.
Yeah, it's pointing. That shows you what you got there. Would love for it to be pointing up, and we certainly have the talent, guys. So let's not like boo-hoo it the whole way home. But yeah, this was a tough one, and let's hope it boils down to some positive coaching decisions moving forward from this point.
I just think if something was going to happen this week, it had already happened. It would happen today.
Well, I think one thing.
Press conference tomorrow, so normal week.
One thing, too, that I find very interesting, with as good as Tomlin has been in Pittsburgh, he's produced one other NFL head coach, and that was Bruce Arians, and he actually went to the Colts, right? So Tomlin doesn't even have a coaching tree. Throughout his entire career, he's been surrounded by older coaches, such as Dick LeBeau, retreads who were former coaches, such as Todd Haley. You know, these guys have seen a lot of football, right? No coach has really developed under Tomlin throughout his entire career. And he likes to keep saying that he likes to elevate from within. What point can we no longer do that anymore? Because look at how many coaches from, you know, Shanahan, McVay, throughout the league there are right now that they want to steal. These other teams want to steal their concepts, their ideas. No one's trying to do that with Tomlin right now. Nobody.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Nobody want to steal my idea. Yeah, and you look at who came before Tomlin. Bill Cowher had a coaching tree. Chuck Noll had a coaching tree. There's nothing here. It's just a bunch of has-beens, and they're not even really has-beens. They've sucked everywhere they've been. A
bunch of stand-by me's.
It's just trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and it's failing miserably.
Now, I think next year we're going to see a philosophical change with Omar Khan and how they do that. Especially they brought over the assistant GM from Philadelphia. I would not be surprised if someone on the Philadelphia offensive staff, with the success they were having with developing Hurts, is not the offensive coordinator for the Steelers next year. I will actually be very surprised if that doesn't happen.
I hope something happens to that effect.
Well, something's got to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it.
I haven't heard any. I've heard the most. Never mind. Anyhow, it is what it is. All those cliches. We just keep hearing them week in and week out. Make some changes for the positive, please, and don't lose this team.
It's a fine line right now.
Don't lose this.
Very
team.
fine line.
That's
I don't think.
what my fear is here.
I think the season will be determined this next game. This next game determines where we go. It determines we change some things and try to make a run, or this podcast is going to be doing mock drafts the rest of the season because it's not going to end pretty.
Or why don't we just look at it for what it is that it is. I'm going to pound this every week, and I'm going to catch hell whenever TA comes back, but it's a rebuild year. I mean, so many different parts have changed from top to bottom. Yeah, we have some core players and stuff, and a core coach here, but it's a rebuild team. I saw somebody made a comment and said, come on, guys, seriously, did you really, really think the Steelers were going to go up there with Kenny Pickett starting fresh as a rookie quarterback, and we're going to beat the Bills? No, the Bills were on a path to right their ship, even with half of their backfield missing, and get their shit together with an offensive game plan that worked.
I didn't expect them to go up to Buffalo to beat Buffalo. I expected them to
compete
on some sort of roll, compete a little bit, but go into the next week with something positive.
Right, Bill.
Something that is moving forward. There is absolutely diddly squat on this team right now to go into next week feeling positive about it. Yeah. Nothing. You might as well take that piece of paper and crumble it up and throw it in the trash can, because there's nothing to salvage out of this last football game. Nothing.
No, not really.
Can't say I disagree.
Other than some experience under his belt, get some jitters and hits out of the way for Kenny Pickett, and some film to study.
Well, you guys know just as well as I know, one guy can't do it by himself. One guy can't have the mentality of, I'm going to play until the last whistle. I'm going to give it my all. No. Everybody has to buy in. I don't think in any side of the ball, the players on that specific side of the ball are buying into whatever game plan is being thrown at them. Nobody has bought in.
Yep.
I mean, look at the wide receiver room. They were criticizing Canada week 2.
Yeah. Right? And you can tell by their body language. I mean, you can see it through a TV. How can they not see it on a field right in front of them? The body language is terrible.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Well, hey, a little bit of good news come out of the weekend. At least the Browns lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
We're still in it.
We're still in it. Yeah. We're going to win the division at 4-13.
You're generous.
4 division wins.
I'd take 4 wins, period, at this stage. But anyhow, guys, we're up against the clock, man. Good to hang with you. We thought we just didn't have a whole lot to talk about tonight, but we sure filled up the space adequately. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Steelers Nation, thanks for listening in, giving us some love. Keep an eye out for that upcoming website changes, and we'll be sure to make mention of anything else coming up along the way. Thanks for listening. Keep on sharing. Let's go black and gold. Here we go, Steelers. Careful on the hot tub, everyone. We'll see you guys next time. We're out of here.
Bye, Steelers Nation.
Night, Steelers Nation.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm